Who do you believe should be their starter week 1? Harry.
For me, it's Russell Wilson. We're talking about a guy who's been able to play and structure some part of his career, but also what Arthur Smith loves to do, run the football, use the play-action game, have everything come off that run game. I think that suits Russell Wilson and his skill set first. So I think Russell Wilson should be the guy to start the year when it comes to game 1.
Bart, you agree with that?
To start, yes, but I think this is Justin Fields. I think he makes the Pittsburgh Steelers a much more dynamic offense, making you have to defend all 11 players. You talk about with him, Jalen Warren holding the backside linebacker, the RPO game. Play action is really what it's about. You remember with Tannehill what that was all about.
Then help me with this, okay? Because everyone keeps telling me this. Or let's start with Russell Wilson, but then eventually they get, what are we delaying the inevitable for? If they're better with Justin Fields on the field, if he has the potential to be their future and the other guy does not, I don't mean to be sitting here knocking Russell Wilson. That's not what this is about. But it is about you bring in a young, dynamic player like Justin Fields, let him have the reps, let him be ready to start the season.
The Steelers. The Steelers, have to do right. They're an honorable franchise. They promised Russell Wilson something. Russell Wilson comes there. They're not paying him much money. They got to allow Russell Wilson to lose it. And Justin Fields, you want a young player to be hungry because Justin Fields is the future. They have to listen. Somebody in that management job is on the line. You say, well, what are you talking about, Bart? They never have a losing season. They've kind of stalled out and hit like that mediocre, playing. Like the Steelers can't really afford to fall behind in that division, which is probably the most competitive division in all of football. But the reality is somebody messed up with drafting Najee Harris. Somebody messed up by drafting Kenny Pickett. Yeah. And the only thing that's saving their job is they found their Brock Purdy potentially in Justin Fields, potentially being a future quarterback.
All the more reason, very quickly, because, you're closer to the situation than I am. I get it, and they're people of their word, and I have a lot of respect for Russell. It's very fashionable to dump on Russell Wilson. I'm not here to do that.
No.
I'm here to say.
Steelers yellow.
Exactly, so you're in the perfect position to comment on this today. It feels to me like everyone says to me, well, they'll start with Russell Wilson, but then eventually they'll get over to Justin Fields. I don't understand the thinking of that.
It's always easier to start with the vet and then go to the young.
Who's the better option? Who gives them the better chance to win? That's the option you start with. It doesn't make any difference.
Because here's the thing: you brought Russell in first. You told him, okay, this is the job. Then they went and got Justin Fields.
Because they didn't know they could get Justin Fields for a 6th-round pick. If they had known that, they would have done that first.
But here's the thing: they're not tied to either of these guys beyond this year. I think you got to give Russ some time. I think when you look at the upside, the potential of that Justin Fields has. Yeah. That's what excites me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that is what excites me. But I think you can. That's a difficult switch, starting from Justin and then ending with Russell.
But your hope is that you never do that. I think you hope that you put the quarterback out there. No one starts a season saying, well, we'll start with this guy, and then hopefully we'll work our way to a different quarterback.
Well, the reports are they got to kind of get Justin Fields up to speed. He doesn't throw with great anticipation. He doesn't throw with great accuracy. So you kind of work him in because listen, he's
being a quarterback. He's just not great at doing the things that we need a quarterback to do, and we just need to magically make him be able to do those things, and then he will be a good quarterback. And if I grow another 2 feet, I'll be an NBA Hall of Famer.
Has to be the future. Because if they're not the future, I think they are tied to Justin Fields. Because if he's not the answer, then what is the answer? That means they got to go back and try and draft the guy or get one of these retreads, and they're going to fall, behind everybody within that division, and some jobs are going to be on the line eventually.
Think about how we've talked about Justin Fields' tenure in Chicago, about how that organization helped set him back.
Yeah, really. The opposite of helped, right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, think about that. That's what you're getting. You got raw talent. You got raw clay to play with. But yeah, this is now another new system for a young kid who's been in a new system every single year.
I want to take it from there.
Yeah.
Because Arthur Smith is running that system. I was able to do the Bill Walsh diversity coaching internship. I know that offensive system. It takes time. So you can't just have Justin Fields come in and it's going to be up to speed on everything within that system. There's little things when it comes to that offensive system, which is that Shanahan system that you have to be able to, be up to speed on.
But you can take the gray out. I mean, I believe that Justin Fields can be Lamar Jackson his first and second year when you consider what a dynamic runner he is, and with all the weapons they have on the outside, one of the best dual threat tight ends. And
what are we talking about
a great
here?
Blocker and pass receiver. He can rush for 1,000 yards within this system, which makes them impossible to defend. And who cares if you beat the kid up because he's just a rental? You know, you can get rid of him if he gets hurt.
Wait, but you.
Okay, guys, we need to stop with this nonsense, okay? Just because a player looks really cool in certain moments doesn't make him an elite player or have this amazing potential. Just because, you know, Justin Fields can run real quick and run around in circles and do things that make you think of Lamar doesn't mean that he's even remotely like Lamar Jackson. This is just getting out of control at this point. It really is. Like, can we stop with this? He just has bad accuracy, slow processing, no anticipation, and poor pre-snap reads. But besides that, he's going to be a great quarterback. And they talk about a Shanahan system and find the Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy is lightning quick with processing and anticipation and pinpoint accuracy and amazing decision making. All the opposites of what Justin Fields has shown to do in the NFL. So it's just nonsense. It's nonsense. I'm not saying that Justin Fields can't become a good quarterback, but this idea that he's just this untapped potential to be this top 3, top 4, top 5 quarterback, because they're not saying that directly, but that is what they've pretty much said in the past. It is what they kind of believe that he can become, especially Greeny for that matter. And I just do not see that. I do not see that. He shows zero signs of these other new up-and-coming quarterbacks like Jordan Love, CJ Stroud. He just does. I just don't see it. I understand the Chicago Bears didn't do a great job, a top-level A+ job at supporting Justin Fields. But he also did nothing to overcome it. He did nothing. So I just disagree. And you have to look at some of the issues that plagued him. What does Matt Eberflus have to do with Justin Fields' accuracy? Like, what does he have to do with that? And his poor anticipation. You can't necessarily, like, teach that in the way or develop in the way that some of these people are acting that they're going to be able to do. It's just not the way it works. So I reject that. So who should be the starting quarterback? It should clearly be Russell Wilson, because they know without a shadow of a doubt Russell Wilson can execute an offense. He's done it his entire career, and he's now done it in multiple offenses. He's been in multiple systems, and he's succeeded. I understand he did not ball out and be a top 2 quarterback in the NFL with the Broncos. I get it, but he's more than competent. And guess what? He played better with Nathaniel Hackett, who was a disaster with also minimal weapons, relative to whatever the heck Justin Fields did with Chicago. So Russell Wilson has already proven to be a better quarterback in a poor situation. So I just think that considering what the Steelers have been able to do over the last couple of seasons, and considering their defense, and now they did finally get a legitimate offensive coordinator, you just need a competent quarterback, and you could win some serious games. Who knows what the Ravens are going to be like? Seriously, who knows? So a lot of people believe that the Ravens took some significant steps back, and that they went out and got their running back, but he's old. And who knows? He's no longer the Derrick Henry of his prime. So who knows what happens? They lost their defensive coordinator. So who knows if the Ravens take a big step back? The Bengals, Joe Burrow hasn't been able to stay healthy at all. And the Cleveland Browns, Deshaun Watson, it's like, what has he done? So the Steelers can legitimately compete for playoffs, or dare I say even win a division, if they have a competent quarterback. I'm not predicting either way. I'm just saying that it's possible. That if they have a legitimate, competent quarterback that won't go out of his way to lose you games, like Justin Fields has shown to do, they can win some games. They can do some damage. And with a little luck, right, like if the Bengals fall apart, or if the Ravens do legitimately take a big step back, and the Browns kind of continue just to be the Browns, well, then the Steelers can legitimately win and get into the playoffs and win the division. It's an actual path. Again, I'm not saying it's the most possible, but it is a legitimate path. And you don't want to be throwing away games trying to figure out and develop Justin Fields. So I just think that Russell Wilson puts you in the best situation to win now. And that is what the team wants. That is what these players want. That is what the coaching staff wants. That is what the fans want. They don't want to be playing these games of like, we got to develop a quarterback. They don't want to do that. Nobody wants to do that. They don't care whether or not Justin Fields succeeds or fails. They got no eggs in that basket. They don't care. They want to win now. They want to play now. They're sick of just being this like kind of average team. Well, we've never had a losing record. Whoopity-doo. You also haven't really done anything in the playoffs in God knows how long. So I just think that it's absolutely Russell Wilson. Unless Russell Wilson has truly just fallen off the cliff, right? We kind of used to say that quarterbacks would fall off cliffs. Then, of course, obviously Tom Brady kind of, bucked that trend. And then we were like kind of thinking that trend could continue, maybe with Aaron. Again, it's a little bit difficult with the injuries, and we saw Kirk Cousins even older, still kind of balling out. And we were seeing these other quarterbacks continue to play older and older, but will there still be this, random cliff that they fall off? And if Russell Wilson indeed did fall off a cliff, then sure, I get it. Justin Fields, have at it. But if Russell Wilson proves to still just be a darn good quarterback, he just has to be a good quarterback. He doesn't have to be great, and he doesn't have to be elite. If he's just a good quarterback, he will be the best quarterback that the Steelers have had in the last 5 or so years. And that should be enough to, again, do some damage. Look what the Cleveland Browns were able to do with Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco isn't some elite quarterback anymore, but Joe Flacco knows how to execute an offense. Okay? He knows how to listen to the coaching staff. He knows how to do what he's told. He knows how to minimize mistakes. I know he threw a lot of interceptions, but relatively speaking, within the offense, not all interceptions are necessarily mistakes. He was able to do that. And when you have a great defense, you can win some games, as proven with the Browns. And so that's what you get. That's what you can get with the Russell Wilson with the Steelers. So I think Justin Fields, again, unless in practice and unless in any of the other stuff that they're doing to evaluate him, they see, yeah, this guy's for real. The Chicago Bears messed him up. This dude is a steal and is a legitimate, bona fide future top quarterback in the NFL. Okay, if he shows you that, then fine. By all means, put him out there. But it just doesn't feel like that at all. And everything else is just this obsession with this potential of Justin Fields because he appears to be really quick and can run and he looks really hyper athletic, and they just automatically connect that to potential. If they could just fine tune him, they could just tweak this and tweak that, he'll be the next Patrick Mahomes. Okay, sure. Listen, if he ends up doing that and being that, we can go back and watch this video of me going on a whole rant and it'll be really funny. I just don't think it's going to happen. It'll be my Colin Cowherd video when he said, I just recently saw Colin Cowherd said years ago, obviously at this point, where he said that Ben Simmons is the next big thing. That LeBron James can move on because we got Ben Simmons now. And it's a pretty funny take because obviously it did not age well. So maybe that's what this will be. But, I'm not seeing it. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think? Who do you think should be the starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Russell Wilson or Justin Fields? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.